Let me ask you something real quick. Have you ever spent time with a woman where everything just seemed to click? The chemistry was strong. She laughed at your jokes, initiated texts, was playful, engaged, and seemed genuinely into you. But then, gradually, something changed. Her warmth cooled, the connection dimmed. She began pulling away, becoming distant, harder to read, and less responsive. And you're left wondering, what happened? Here's the truth. That shift typically doesn't happen because you weren't good enough. It's rarely about being less attractive, less interesting, or less successful. More often, it's because the masculine presence that originally drew her in slowly started to fade. You stopped leading with the energy that made her feel magnetically pulled toward you. What I'm about to share isn't mainstream advice. This isn't about tactics or gimmicks. These are the deeper, less visible dynamics, the subtle distinctions that determine whether you're the man she forgets or the one she can't stop thinking about. Let's get into it. 1. Don't mirror her energy, lead with yours. One of the most common mistakes men make is subconsciously matching a woman's emotional state. She's excited? He amps up. She's cold. He withdraws. She's upset. He reacts. But the masculine role isn't to match. It's to anchor. Your value lies in your contrast, not your similarity. When she's anxious, you remain calm. When she's emotional, you stay grounded. You become the stable center she can gravitate toward rather than a reflection of her internal chaos. That groundedness becomes your power. And she feels it, even if she can't articulate it. 2. Be playful, not heavy. Many men believe that being emotionally open and vulnerable from the start builds deep connection. But oversharing or making every conversation heavy too soon actually pushes many women away. Why? Because it feels like emotional weight, like something she now has to carry. The alternative? Keep it light. Be playful. Create emotional space, not emotional pressure. When she brings something heavy, you don't ignore it. But you don't get pulled in either. You keep things flowing. Stay in that playful, masculine energy. And you'll notice she relaxes, opens up, and becomes more drawn to your presence. 3. Less explanation, more mystery. The more you explain yourself, justify your actions, or try to prove your value, the more it erodes your presence. Why? Because confidence is quiet. Certainty doesn't explain itself. Mystery isn't about being deceptive. It's about being disciplined in what you reveal. Let her wonder. Let her ask. Let her feel the intrigue. Because attraction is fueled by emotion, not logic. And nothing stirs emotion like a little mystery. 4. Respond with presence, not problem solving. Many men default to logic. When a woman shares a problem, they immediately go into fix-it mode. But here's what most men miss. She's often not looking for a solution. She's looking for connection. Respond with energy, not strategy. Use pauses, smirks, reactions that show you're attuned to her emotions. You don't need to solve her world. Just let her feel heard without being overwhelmed by analysis. The man who can be emotionally present without becoming reactive wins her trust and respect. 5. Speak slower than feels natural. When most men are nervous or trying to impress, they speak quickly. trying to fill silences and maintain momentum. But when you slow down your speech, even just 15-20%, everything about your energy changes. You come across more grounded, more centered, more in control. It signals confidence, not because you're trying to prove anything, but because you don't need to. And women, being hypersensitive to subtle cues, pick up on it immediately. 6. Stay neutral to stay powerful. At some point, she'll test you, emotionally, verbally, or even through passive resistance. If you respond with irritation, defensiveness, or emotional escalation, you fail the test. But if you stay calm, neutral, even a bit amused, she sees something rare. A man who can't be easily shaken. That neutrality isn't coldness. It's presence without volatility. And it tells her on a subconscious level that you're a man who leads his emotions, not one who gets led by them. 7. Never get pulled into her emotional storm. Women don't test your emotions to punish you. They test them to feel you, to see if you can handle what they carry. So when she gets emotional, it's not always about the content. It's about your ability to stay steady. Let her vent. Let her feel. But you, stay still inside. Be the eye of the storm, not part of the storm. That quiet, calm strength becomes the emotional shelter she never knew she needed. 8. Familiarity kills mystery. This is a paradox. The more she knows your routines, your thoughts, your schedule, the less intrigue she feels. Familiarity builds comfort. But obsession? Obsession thrives on uncertainty. So remain just slightly unpredictable. Don't share everything. Don't always be available. Leave spaces in your rhythm for her to chase, wonder, and feel. Because it's the not knowing that keeps her leaning in. 9. Her words don't matter as much as her energy. Men are taught to take communication literally, but women often communicate through energy, tone, and subtext more than words. She might say she's not interested, not ready, or not in the mood. But what does her vibe say? Pay attention to her body language, her tone, her micro expressions. Learn to read the energy behind her words, and you'll begin connecting with her on a level she didn't even know she was expressing. Final thoughts. Everything above goes against what most of us were taught. Especially if you grew up trying to be the nice guy, the pleaser, the one who always listens and accommodates. But here's the hard truth. Being liked is not the same as being desired. The moment you stop chasing approval and start embodying calm confidence, when you become the man who doesn't need to impress but simply holds his ground, she feels it, and that feeling, more than anything else, is what creates obsession. So if you're ready to be that man, there's one principle to carry with you always. I stay above it. That's your new job. No matter what storm she brings, no matter what energy she throws your way, you stay above it, calm, confident, unshakable, and she'll feel more for you in silence than she ever will through explanation.